Hey everybody, hope y'all are well. Let me pull up Facebook here on my phone so I can check in and say, hey, you guys are fantastic. Just such great community. Enjoy seeing you guys every time. And over the weekends, y'all are just amazing people doing so many amazing things. Glad everybody got a little rest. Glad everybody's getting refreshed. And I hope you're ready to go on this fantastic Monday. So, first of all, how do I actually get stuff done? All right, let's just dive into that right away. And any questions you have as this goes on, let me know because I want to make sure that I hit your questions and hit them in a way that's helpful for you today because it's really important to get stuff done. And particularly on Mondays, we're thinking about that. And you may be discouraged about last week. You may be excited about this week. You may be overwhelmed at this week and not quite sure what you're doing next. But I want to make sure we actually get stuff done. So let's hit this. What's up, CN? Patrice, great to see you. CN, hey, hope you had a great weekend. So here's how I actually get stuff done, and I'm gonna kind of break this into two different categories too. That's four, right? So two different categories too. There you go. Number one, I have a team, and that can start at a very basic team you can delegate to. One VA that just works for you an hour a day or 2 hours a week or something super simple, or it can be a full on team. I've got 7 people. That's not a huge team, by the way. A lot of agency owners have way more people than that. We just are super efficient and like to keep things organized. We can talk about more of that another time. But let's talk basics about a team, and let's also talk just about personal accountability, right? You and me, Martin, awesome to see you. Rock, great to see you, dude. You and me have to get stuff done. We have to be the leader here, right? There's no way around it. No matter how good our teams are, we've all been part of these teams before. If the leader is not a good leader, the team falls apart. People get fired too often. People have a lot of disgruntled situations going on. People just simply don't become effective. And that's a big deal. We don't want that to happen. So, first up, let's talk team for a second, and then we'll come back to our own accountability because that's just, I think, honestly, the most important piece. Team, number one. If you don't have a VA, if you don't have a local person, a virtual person, somebody who's helping you get your work done, I strongly encourage you, figure out a way to get that person on your team. Okay? It is so important to have some help. There's no way I could do what I do in my agency or so many other people in our agencies that we work with. Hang on. Sorry. I was about to sneeze, but I think I'm okay. There's no way that we could get so much done in our agencies without our team, right? Team is just so important. So first up, if you don't have one, no worries. Reach out to your friends, family, reach out to people in this community. This community is fantastic for that, by the way. And just say, hey, looking for a VA part-time. Whatever your price point is, some people frown on, well, you should hire locally, you should hire internationally, you should get over all those discussions for a second. You got to figure out what is your budget, what's your capacity to hire, how much money can you afford, and find somebody who can help you at that price point. If someone wants to help you at that price point, they need a job, you need the help. Get moving. All right. If you can pay them more as you grow, please do that. Be an awesome person. If you need to upgrade your staff and find somebody who's a little more skilled that costs a little more money, fine, do that. But get started is the point. Find somebody you can help and that can help you and get started. All right. Learn to delegate. Go through the messy process. If you're early on in this process, learn what you're doing. Do a time study if you need to. Figure out what you're doing that takes the most amount of your time, that's the least amount of effort or skill set that you can train the easiest, right? And start teaching someone. Do some screen shares, some video recording, some one-on-one sessions. Start delegating. So it's messy. Martin, awesome to see you. So it's messy. Who cares? Just go with it, right? Keep going, keep moving. Build a team. And if you get a person that's awesome, great. If you find somebody who's not the best right off and you have to transition out and start over again, it's okay. Just find a person to help you, all right? There is no way, I'm just going to say this super clearly. There is no way you can grow to be your best capacity, to reach the number of people you need to, at the price points you need to in this day and age without a team helping you. All right? Simple automation and systems and tools like that will get you so far. Your drive and capacity will get you so far, but you will have to lean on other people. So start learning that process, start strengthening that delegating muscle, and get out there and work hard. All right, that's number one. Number two, let's talk about some self-mastery here. It is important for us to recognize that as entrepreneurs, we are often very easily distracted people. We're amazing visionaries, maybe a lot of ADD floating around in this community, and you got to make sure that you have the ability to stay on track. And that is not something I do well. It is not something most of us as entrepreneurs do well. We love finding the next new exciting thing to talk about, to do. and to jump in on that. Sheridan, awesome to see you. You want to make sure that you have accountability. All right. I have accountability both in business, like externally, meaning other people who are peers of mine and coaches that I like to hire and masterminds like to lean on. I also have accountability with my staff. Believe it or not, yes, I'm one of those bosses who absolutely leans in on my team to keep me accountable. Just this week, as a matter of fact, I'm sharing this openly, right? We're all in this together. This week, I have 4 time blocks on my calendar, 4 time blocks that represent 2 different topics that I just need to drill through, get some content, get some thought behind. One of them is a marketing piece that we're doing more webinar style. The other is content for our mastermind. Those 2 things are hard for me to get to, right? They're not as exciting and fun as other things in my life. So I've got them as blocks on my calendar. CN, easily distracted for sure, right? Yeah, there I am, distracted looking at comments. So make sure that we're being accountable. But I have 4 time blocks that represent those 2 topics, content creation basically for both. And my team knows those are on there. They're invited to those 2 time blocks, or 4 time blocks, and they are keeping me accountable. I just spent time with one of my team members this morning working on some content for this week's mastermind teachings and trainings, and just updating some stuff and putting some new slides in that we wanted to add. And then later this afternoon and then tomorrow and Wednesday have 3 other time blocks where different team members are checking in on me. It's like babysitting. I hate to say it that way, but it's professional babysitting. It's, hey, Chris, let's get started. It's time to get going. What are your thoughts? Let's get that outline moving. They kind of help me get moving, get my thoughts going. And they don't need to be on that entire time block and waste their time too, but they definitely need to check in maybe every 20, 30 minutes, just a quick text or something like that from them saying, hey, where are you at? What point in the outline are you in? You know, how many pages have you gone through? What kind of content you creating? Hey, you still there? Still rocking? Just, I wish I was better at that, but I need help. And I reach out to my team to help me do that. So be honest, be real, be authentic. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to be this amazing person in every way, every day. You just need to be real and know, hey, I'm not the best at staying 100% focused, and I need to get stuff done. So I'm going to create little fixed, what's up, Andrew? Little fixed time blocks, and I'm going to drill it and crush it in those little moments and get stuff done. All right. You all know that I work a very small amount for the agency that we have. Very, very little in our agency. I work less than 30 minutes a day on the creative agency side. I work more than that for our mastermind teaching, and it's really fun. I love that process. But even in all of that, it's a very minimal number of hours. But it's because I have an amazing team. Going back to that first point, it's because I have an amazing team, and I went through the hard work of learning to delegate, going back and back and back, finding new team members, finding the right ones, going through the heartache, the struggle of having to get rid of some, having to bring on the right ones. Do that work. Build a team around you, delegate, start doing it well, and then being super honest with myself. Where am I, and what do I need to do to make sure that I actually do the right stuff? Who am I accountable to, and am I getting my list done? Because often I'm the bottleneck, right? CN. So I do that with my clients. Cool. Check in with them weekly to keep us all on track. Yeah, our team does that with all of our clients as well. And that is so good. It's so important to do that for them. And I just found that it's important for me too. I think I am the most important and most distractible client in our clientele. And I say most important, not because I'm stuck on myself and I think I'm so cool, but because if I don't stay on track, everybody else gets stuck sometimes. So I've got to be kept on track, and I'm open with my team on that. Andrew, great to see you, dude. So far, so good. Today's my 30th anniversary of being self-employed. Oh, that's so fantastic. Man, I love that. 3 years, dude. Okay, so that's super cool. Wow. So the 3-year mark is a really big mark. Most people fail, like I think it's 80, 90% in the first 12 months. But then there's people like most of us who are just really determined people. And we can grit and grind our way through just about anything in life, right? And that is where people stick around till that 2 and rarely the 3-year mark. So that 3-year mark is kind of what separates the people who just have grit, grind, and determination from the folks who really are able to catch the strategy and start building a real thing. So when I hear people who've hit the 3-year mark, I'm like, heck yeah. So Andrew, that is so freaking awesome, dude. Like, that's a huge, huge milestone. The 3-year mark is so important. Well done. Love that. Tristan, great to see you. So way to go. Hey, it's so great to see you, Tristan. So there's the 2 points. Figure out that team thing. Really lock in. Any questions on delegation real quick, or team training, or finding a team, or in that self-mastery and organization piece? I'll be here for just a second. So if you have questions, line them up. What's up, Janice? Good to see you. So make sure, number one, that you are finding the right team members. Go through the heartache, the pain, the effort, all the work it takes to find the right team members, VAs, local people, staffing agencies, whatever you got to lean in on. Find the right people and get them on track. All right, do it, do it, do it. It's hard work. It's so worth it. Janice, it's been a while as it got very busy. I'm so glad to see you again. I'm glad the topic's timely. Ask questions if you have any, Janice. So yes, be sure and find the right people, go through the process, train them. If they're the wrong people, you'll know in a week or two. You might know in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. But as soon as you realize, oh my gosh, this isn't working out, if you're training well and they're not willing or able, meaning willing, they just have an attitude and don't want to do the work or won't take direction from you, or able, they just aren't able to catch on to what you're trying to teach them to do. It's not their skill set, not where they are in life right now, no worries. Move on. Move on quickly. Don't feel bad. The best thing for you and for them is to wrap it up now versus 6 months from now when you've wasted everybody's time and everybody's just got a lot of angst. Get it over with. So get people in there, get them working, and then start learning how to delegate or use the skills you already have to delegate and push hard and do great work there. Simple delegation is stuff like we're doing right here, literally screen recording yourself, maybe sharing your screen, showing the process you go through, the thing you're trying to teach, and say, hey, new person, go watch this video, check back with questions, and let's talk through it and get them up and running that way. And then absolutely making sure you are someone who's doing your work. Be accountable to someone where someone can check in and make sure you hit your time blocks that day, you got the right stuff done, you hit your priorities, you actually did the things. It's a lot like having a workout buddy or a diet buddy or a coach of some sort in some other area of life just to make sure that you're like a running group is great, right? We all go to these running groups or bike groups or cycle groups, or if you got a Peloton or whatever you do, a reading club. It makes you freaking read the book, right? Before you want to show up next time. So it's the same way with work. Jump in there and be accountable and be in a community with your team or with other entrepreneurs that you can, this community right here, let people know, here's what I'm doing, and I need a friend. I need somebody to check in with me on Wednesday to make sure I got this stuff done. Just be honest, right? Dean, what's up? Get them working. Delegation, yes, so important, Dean. And it's so important to be a great boss who communicates well and to actually be able to communicate that stuff well. Most employee problems and team problems are boss problems. If they're not working well and they're having problems, that's usually our own communication or our own leadership skill. Great time to step up. Accountability group is awesome. Yes, it is. That's what I love about masterminds, by the way. I'm in a mastermind, and I love that process because it allows me to really lean in and be accountable to other peers that are like-minded, that are at the same level, and that's super, super cool. Remo, great to see you. Dude, so great to see you. It's been a while, man. Hope you're well. Anyway, any other questions about that delegation stuff or self-mastery stuff? If there are, drop them in here. Let me say one other thing about self-mastery piece. It is important to schedule things out. A lot of us have a list of priorities or a schedule or a huge never-ending task list or maybe just a messy thing of sticky notes all over the place. Bottom line is you want to get in there and you want to get organized, all right? And I know organization is not everybody's strong suit. It's definitely not mine. But getting those sticky notes off and somewhere into a list format, or even if it's the top 3 sticky notes I'm going to take care of today, whatever it is, get that stuff out and get it organized. That way you can stay focused. And when you are struggling to keep up and know, oh my gosh, so many things are scrambling around my head. I have so many ideas and things I want to do, and I've got all these responsibilities, whatever it is in your mind. That way you can just look and say, I know that every time I get distracted, I got to go back to the sticky note, back to the list, back to the calendar, whatever it is for you, and say, what is next? I am going to do the next thing. I'm going to change my focus, forget about all the distractions. I'm just going to focus and do that next thing. That really helps. And that's a great way to kind of get your brain back on track. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to wrap it up here. You folks are awesome. I love seeing y'all. Happy Monday. I mean that sincerely. You got a fantastic week ahead of you. Get out there and crush it. Stay organized. Find the thing you're going to do next today and do it. Like if you know what it is right now, if you know what it is right now and you know that's it. Then the most important thing, it just came to mind. That's what I got to do. Write it down, stick it somewhere, write on your whiteboard, your sticky notes, your desktop, whatever, and do the next thing. If you have 2 or 3 things you know you got to crush today, write those down, do the next thing, and don't give up. And when you get distracted, it's okay. Don't judge yourself. Just go back to the list and do the next thing. Being an effective worker and being a great delegator, however you say it, I think it's delegator, right? Being a great boss, being a great entrepreneur is a lot like mindset work and meditation, right? You know how it is when you meditate, forget first when you start meditating, or if you're a 10-year veteran meditating, you're still sitting there meditating, laying down meditating, standing up meditating, whatever you do. and you get distracted, right? I mean, you're trying to breathe, you're trying to focus on your breathing, you're trying to focus on one thing to really center yourself, and so many things distracting us. But every good person who teaches meditation is like, hey, it's okay. You know how they say it in these calm voices. If you're distracted, if your thoughts have wandered, don't judge yourself. Just come back. Focus on your breathing. It's okay. We all do that. Just come back. And they just keep doing it. It's the same thing as being an entrepreneur. Just come back. Find those priorities, write them down, know what you're going to do next, know the 1, 2, 3 things you're going to get done. Be accountable. Don't judge yourself, and just get back at it. Dean, you bet, man. Great to see everybody today. Y'all have a fantastic Monday. See you again on Tuesday. You guys are awesome. We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.